doesn't work so well this week because it's yuck outside, so, but it makes my eyeshadow look so freaking cool. That is awesome. Oh, I spit on my camera. I'm vlogging! It took me that long. Right outside. Tubers, and welcome back to my channel. This week we have a writing video, and this one is so pleasantly entitled Sharing is Caring. Now, the reason I'm calling it Sharing is Caring is because I'm going to be talking about the traits that I have taken from myself and given to my original characters. I get asked all the time why certain characters are the way they are, why they do certain things they do, mainly with Grace, Heidi, and Effie because they are the ones I post regularly. I get asked why Grace is afraid of small spaces. I get asked why Heidi loves drawing so much. I get asked if there's a reason I decided to have Effie's powers be connected to her paintings. And it's really quite simple to explain. I like giving pieces of myself to my characters, even if they're not always ones I like. We'll start easy with examples. One thing all of my characters, and I do mean all of them, have in common is they love reading. I'll put up an image here to show you just some of the examples. I took these as references to parts of stories where I needed them to be reading and I wanted an example in my head. And they love reading simply because I love reading. I didn't always, you guys know this, I did not always love reading. I had to be forced to learn how to read at the age of 6, but around the age of 12 or 13, I really got into it, and, well, there's been no going back since. I was glancing back at my bookshelf, which is like, 20 books high. I have every intention of sharing that love of reading with my children when they come, and I honestly didn't see why I should limit it to children I give birth to. My original characters, as you all know, are basically my children, to me at least, so I decided to share it with them. A handful of my children love drawing, sketching, painting, photography, visual arts, basically. And why? Is because they're all subjects I have grown to love and enjoy as I've gotten older. I've always loved taking pictures, which in my family kind of sucks because everyone is camera shy and even the animals are camera shy. But I love taking pictures. I actually did my final project in high school on the history of photography, and it was so much fun to learn even more about something I was already very passionate about. I even had one of the teachers who was grading me comment that he could just tell from the way I was talking that I was very passionate about reading. I mean, not reading. He could tell that I was very passionate about photography. I've always drawn. I've always sketched. But I had a habit of taking forever because I wanted to get every minute detail of everything I was drawing. I was around second grade age, 7 or 8, when I got an award for drawing I did of a bush. We were supposed to be drawing a landscape of the field behind our school, but I spent so much time drawing each and every piece of the bush that it was all I got done. It was beautifully done for a 7 or 8-year-old, but I still got credited for the assignment and praised for my work because of how detailed I was able to go into it. I'm not an amazing artist when it comes to anything outside of landscapes, but I do love trying. You've all seen, if you follow me on DeviantART or even on Instagram, you've all seen the sketches I make. Most of my character drawings, I will admit, are traces of the basic outlines. So, head shape, body shape, placement of the eyes and everything, of the facial features, it's traced. But the details, like the clothes, the hair, the way the eyes look, the way a character will smirk, how they're, positioned or what they're holding, all the details are 100% by me. I don't trace those in. I love details, in case you hadn't noticed in the millions of videos I've posted. who knows how many videos I've posted about my writing and my characters and everything. Details are my thing. With how much I love these subjects, I knew some of my characters just had to have them. So Heidi, Grace, and Sabrina are avid artists when it comes to drawing or sketching. And Effie is my master painter. She does sketch and she does draw, but painting is her thing. It's something that I'm not amazing in and I would love to get better at, but at this point in my life, I don't have the space or the budget for it. So I tend to live things I can't do, or things I don't have time or space or money for. I tend to try and live out through my characters. It's a crap load of research and it takes time, and I sometimes get so absorbed into the research I forget what I'm doing, but I absolutely love it. Another thing all of my characters have is sarcasm. Why? One, because it is easy as shit to write, and two, I speak it fluently. When I started high school, I was quiet and I really kept to myself. I was in a new school with new kids for the first time in 10 years, and it was strange, it was scary, and I really hadn't ever been without friends who I would feed off of on how to act or, you know, what to say and things like that. Then my freshman and sophomore year English teachers made their biggest mistake. They encouraged me to be myself, to find what I really enjoy doing, and to let it flower. Their words, not mine. And they quickly regretted telling me that, because I found sarcasm, and boy did I run with it. I've loved it ever since. There's honestly no way for me not to put sarcasm in my writing, because it's how I think, like, all the time. My brain runs on 100% sarcasm. And some of my characters are just so natural with it that the lines write themselves without me even considering them. So I'll be sitting there and all of a sudden I'll be cracking myself up because they've said something and I'm just like, yes! But as I said at the beginning, I don't just hand over my fun or better traits. My very first character, Grace, has my claustrophobia. I've been claustrophobic since I was about 4 years old. My younger sister's father thought it would be funny to pick me up in a blanket while I was hiding from my mom. It wasn't funny, and he refused to put me down until my mom told him to. Ever since, I hate small spaces. It sucks. Getting into elevators, I have to stand in one of the corners so I can see the entire space. It has to be a corner away from the door, ironically, so I can see the door so I know where my exit is. And I can reassure myself that there's plenty of room. God forbid I'm in a crowded elevator. It's hell. I'm not sure why I gave that trait to Grace. It just kind of happened while writing one of her chapters, and to my knowledge, I think she's the only one who has it. Anxiety is also a thing I give my characters because of how badly I struggle with it. I've been dealing with anxiety in the forms of general and social anxiety for the last decade to 12 years, at least from a diagnosed point of view, and I struggle with it every day. But I feel that struggle and that hardship has helped make me the person I am today, and it's something I wanted to share with my characters to help them develop into better people as well. Are there easier ways to go about developing my characters? Probably, but as you guys know from previous videos, I work with what I have. That's, you know, that's my tagline. If I ever had merch, it would be work with what you got. That's what I do. I work with what I have and give it to my characters. Same thing goes with my hearing loss. I have significantly diminished hearing in my right ear and am starting to lose some in my left as well. Anissa, my Marvel Cinematic Universe character, is the main focus of sharing that. She has 60% hearing loss in both ears, requiring her to wear hearing aids. I'm not at that point yet, but I will be long before age puts me there. When I was little, I had ear infections like every other month or so. I never needed tubes put in, but they were severe enough to cause lasting damage. And adding on top of the fact that I overproduce scar tissue, meaning I have a constant buildup of that blocking my ear canals. And honestly, it's lucky I can hear it all. But because of that, my eyesight, glasses or not, is extremely sharp, and I'm really good at those games where you have to find like tiny little things, like Where's Waldo? I'm good at that. and I pass that on to Annie. She can see perfectly night or day, dark or light. She is extremely light sensitive and wears special contacts for it, much like I wear my glasses because I'm nearsighted, but she has better eyesight than anyone on the Avengers team, and I will occasionally point things out that will leave my family going, how did you see that? And it's like, I just did. So really what it all boils down to is the reason my characters have certain traits or abilities or disabilities is because I have them. I think every writer puts something of themselves into their writing, into their characters, and I'm no different. I think that's what makes some work so personable and relatable, is because they have bits and pieces of the authors in them. You feel like you're getting to know not just the characters, but the person who created the characters, the person who you know, put the time and effort into making these things, making these people, these, you know, these realities their own. And I love everything about it. It's honestly one of my favorite parts of writing. And that is our video for this week. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. What is a trait you would share, positive or negative, with an original character? Put that down in the comments below too. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy the video. As always, all my social media handles will be down in the description below, along with my blog if you want to read the post that goes along with this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the little notification bell so you get a notification every time I upload if you haven't yet done it. If you have, thank you very much, and I will see you guys next week with another character breakdown. Bye!